Welcome back to Book Break. We are halfway through the year and so it is time for me to talk about our favourite books of the year so far. I do this every year at the end of the year and halfway through. I look at which books I have been talking about the most on Book Break throughout the year. In no particular order, one of the books I have been talking about the most on Book Break this year is Devotion by Hannah Kent, the book that made me absolutely cry my eyes out on the sofa. So let's see what I've been saying about it. I'm gonna cry already. Devotion by Hannah Kent. Devotion by Hannah Kent. This book is so beautiful. This is about a journey, long, dangerous journey by boat all the way to Australia. But mostly it is a love story about two young girls. They have fallen in love in a time when they didn't even have a word for this kind of love. There is a twist that takes place halfway through the novel that turns it into a totally different kind of book, a little otherworldly. I really recommend this book. I absolutely sobbed at it. I really recommend it. It really is that beautiful. And just as often as I've been talking about Devotion, I have also been talking about the adorable, the hilarious Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret by Judy Blume. So let's look at all those clips. Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret. Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret. Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret. I read this book over and over again and again. It's a delightful children's book from the 70s. This book captures so perfectly what it feels like to be 11 and all of the mortification that comes with it. Wearing a bra for the first time, not having started her period yet, or the embarrassment of having started too early. Judy Blume has described exactly what the contents of my brain looked like and felt like back then. Being a preteen girl was exhausting. This was the book that taught me so many things. Neck and neck with those two, I also have been talking an awful lot recently about Sea of Tranquility by Emily St. John Mandel. It is no secret that I am a huge Emily St. John Mandel fan. I will link below to a video I made where I tried to draw out all of the connections in the Emily St. John Mandel multiverse on a whiteboard, and I sort of lost my mind in the process. So go through and watch that. But first, hang around here because let's look at everything I've said about Sea of Tranquility. Sea of Tranquility, Sea of Tranquility. Sea of Tranquility by Emily St. John Mandel. Sea of Tranquility is a time travel novel. It's a parallel timeline book. I really loved the structure of this book. It's very, very clever. We jump from the past, the present day, to hundreds of years into the future when humanity is living in space. But there is one recurring figure who shows up in each time. 400 years into the future, a time traveler is sent back to investigate. So clever the way it all fits together. Emily St. John Mandel is such an amazing writer and she has a lot of characters that pop up in different novels. So all three of these books are in the same multiverse, but they're all parallel versions. It is amazing and it is unlike anything else I've read. This is a book I would recommend to so many different types of readers. And with that, I'm done. But none of those were the #1 book that I have talked about the most so far on Book Break this year, because that honour is reserved for, and there is something kind of funny that's about to happen here. If you watch last year's favourites of the year so far, 2022, you may remember what the #1 most talked about book of the year so far at that point was. And the funny thing is, that book at the time was only out in hardback. This year it came out in paperback and I talked about it all over again because the #1 book for the second year running is Our Wives Under the Sea by Julia Armfield. Let's have a look back at the year so far and see all the times that I have recommended Our Wives Under the Sea to you. Our Wives Under the Sea, Our Wives Under the Sea, Our Wives Under the Sea by Julia Armfield. This is a love story / horror story. It is weird and wonderful. Leah has just returned from a deep sea mission that went wrong and she has come back from this not the same person that she was before. She came back from the sea, but she did not come back the same. And I mean that in a slightly supernatural way. It is creepy and it is beautiful. It's a wonderfully strange book. It's also a wonderfully romantic book. I really fell in love with these characters and with their love. You get these flashbacks of what their relationship was like before, and I felt like I was really missing Leah, this Leah that we never really got to meet properly. You mourn for Leah along with Miri as you learn their relationship and learn all the things that they have lost. I found it really sad at points. I also found it really funny at points. It broke my heart.
Yeah.
What actually happened in the depths of the sea? So there you go, my most talked about books of the year so far in 2023. If you'd like to see what the eventual winners for 2022 were, I will link to that video here so you can go through and see all the books that I just could not shut up about in 2022. And make sure you're subscribed to this channel so you keep getting more of these recommendations. It's easy, the link is right down there. And I'll see you next time.